island, and I would argue no man is allowed to be an island, at least in America. My whole It's a capitalist system. It's late stage capital. No, no, no. We are a mixture. We are very socialist, and we are somewhat capitalist. We are very consumeristic. And I just want to point out some things that really, they get on my nerves to some degree over the course of my life. Like, when you have common sense and you're like, hey man, you just work, save your money, and blah, 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 and people have this attitude, well, why should anybody have to listen to you? It's our money, our life. I agree with that. It is your life. And it should be your success or failure. If you fail, I shouldn't have to pay one dime towards your unemployment. I shouldn't have to pay one dime towards your Social Security. I shouldn't have to pay for your kids, whether they get to public school or they're in squalor. I shouldn't have to pay one fucking dime for that. Oh, wait a minute. What about the system? I shouldn't have to pay for a bunch of utilities and problems and welfare for a bunch of other people. If we're all our own island, which we're not, I would love it if we were all our own island. And I know a lot of you think I'm a good, hard-working tax person. You might work and you might contribute. But let me give you the numbers. This state particularly, it's 15 grand per child per year for times 13 years for K through 12. 13 years, 15,000. If you took that much money and put it in the S&P and left it there for 30 years, that's a goddamn good retirement. Now, let's take it to the next step. You add up all that money, and then you add in the other 2,000 per kid, I think it's 2,000 tax credit, times, let's say, 3 kids. You add that up. You look at your life and you say, when did you ever pay that much into the system? Well, after I'm done raising kids, I'll have to pay some taxes. Will you ever make up that money? And what about Social Security? Oh, I paid into Social Security. Most people outlive the amount of money they ever paid in. Unless you really lived it up hard and had a good life, partied up hard. I don't know if that's a good life, bad life, however you want to put it. You will outlive the money you ever paid in. And here's the tragic truth. If you had actually had that money to invest, the same amount of money you put into Social Security would have equaled 8 times the amount of money that you get from Social Security. It's 8 times the money. So they take your money and they siphon it off to the next group of people, blah, blah, blah. It's a Ponzi scheme. That's all that's ever been, and it's all it'll ever be. And the same thing, the public school system. You pay into the system. How much do you get back? I don't say this to be an asshole or a dick or anything like that. But it just seems a little ridiculous to me that people will tell me, well, you all got to contribute to this, blah, blah, blah. Where's the payout for me? I'm a single guy with no kids, no wife, no nothing. Well, that was your choice. Okay, well, so you're telling me that you get special benefits for having kids, whether you can afford to feed them or not. There's another thing. What about the welfare people? Is that kid that's on welfare, the bastard child of whatever, are they going to show up, mow my lawn when I'm out there driving truck, making money, keeping society going? No. So my problems are an island, but your problems are socialized to me. And this is one of the things I've noticed that they talk about with, big businesses. They privatize the profits and socialize the costs, when it comes down to the, cost of society. But that's society in general, if we're being honest about it. Most people, let's go back to COVID. It's a great example. Great fucking example. How many of those people were up in arms when they were like, I got to pay my bills. I got bills to pay. And the moment the government said, hey, here's some stimmy checks. Okay, I'm cool sitting at home. Oh, God, I'm so scared of the cough. And then a few years later, when inflation starts to hit from all the fucking stupid decisions, Trump spending, Biden's whole, and this goes back to Obama, it goes back to Bush and so many generations. Honestly, since we got off the gold standard, they just keep on voting for more free shit. But there is no free lunch. There never has been. There never will be. Someone has to get paid along the way. So when things start to fail because of bad voting decisions, where people are like, oh, well, what do you mean free stuff? Free stuff. And then the inflation, oh, God, the inflation is scary. Why does a house cost so much? Why does a car cost so much? I don't know. Did you not understand that there's nothing free? Your government gives you something. It's not like you just get it. God, and that's where it comes back to. We're not allowed to be our own island. We're not. If you're the most responsible person, you basically have this marriage that the state does to you. Another guy kind of described it like this. It was Aaron Clary. He's like, when you're dating a woman, you're dating her politics. You're dating her first family. And her first family is whatever bullshit she voted for. You're dating that, and plus you're carrying the weight of all these other fucking people. And that's part of the reason when it comes to society. When I go back into the cities, I go there, I get what I need out of it, and I want to be back in the woods, back in the wasteland. I could, even a desolate wasteland like parts of Nevada, out that way fucking better than you got. Like, don't get me wrong, I bum change occasionally. I either drive truck, I bum change, or I'll work little side jobs. But I see some of these greasy fucking bums in the city, and then I see some of the Walmart Americans that I'm subsidizing, and it's not. I get it. That's just what it is. But even when I'm out here at times, I got to be concerned that one of these hairless apes that we call humans is going to show up and fuck up the shit I got going on here. And usually it's either, it really rarely happens, but if it does happen, it's either to steal shit or just because fucking someone's bored. Hey, Cletus, let's shoot up that vehicle. Let's break in her. And really this whole we're all in a team together. And then another thing, the fact that I don't buy a brand new vehicle, people look at me like I'm going to steal their shit. But then they have their hand out when I'm working. You need to pay more for everybody else's problems. No, I would love it if would have a system where everybody's their own island. And you get to old age, and if you didn't save, nope, no Social Security, figure it the fuck out. I guess you got to go do a job. I guess you got to go work at McDonald's or be a greeter at Walmart or whatever, And in my opinion, the whole Social Security system is set up for this. If you know at the end of the line, no matter how much of a fuck up you are, there'll always be that Social Security check in their pocket. They don't think of investing. They think of buying some flashy shit to show off to their neighbors. Oh, look at my new pickup truck tires, or big jacked up pick-em-up truck. Or, like, oh, look at our big screen TV. We bought, like, get their tax break back. Like, I'm buying a hot tub. We've got payments on it, but we got a hot tub. Got a Harley. My big RV. Boat. Our system is set up to make you be an irresponsible fuck child your whole goddamn life. Get it from home. Then your kids should, get $1,000 child in this state, particularly. I think it's $15,000 per student per year. Then yes, you should get that other $14,000. No other kids in school if they could get that type of money back. And like how people will cheat the system. You mean like they're doing now? After in, and if you do a bunch of pre-tests back at your house, and then you go to the public testing facility, so you can guarantee they're not cheating it. Boom, problem solved. You don't need these giant, just like colleges and public schools, you don't need all these giant facilities, all this extra money. And if you were able to do 2 or 3 grades a year and learn a trade, your kid's like, say 12, you got a Dookie Howser there. The kid's like 9, 10 years old and already ready for fucking college. Or he's already learning a trade with dad. He learn how to be a plumber or electrician or something. Yeah, 16 years old, they're ready to rock and roll and kick ass. But instead, the system is basically keeping your children as adolescents until they're 18, 19, and then continued adolescence extension through college. And then surprise, the real world doesn't need your job in liberal arts or some bullshit. You get out there. And then, of course, instead of blaming the fucking system, the college professors and all this crap that actually literally butt-fucked you. No, it's the companies. It's corporations. No. I would love it if we'd go to every man's an island system. But we won't. There'd be failures. There'd be people that were successful. The successful would prosper, but the failures would probably get angry and try to riot. And this is kind of the line of it. When they say, if they cut off the welfare, people would riot in the streets, so you shoot them. I can't believe you said it. Yeah, I just said it. If someone's going to burn down society because you didn't give them free money, if you're not bribing a terrorist, they're going to burn down society. What do you do? What do you do with that person? Problem solved. But the current system, subsidize everything. You can be even a complete failure. I got 5, 6 friends that have faked crazy and got a welfare check in this state. Honestly, when I look at society life, sometimes I think I should have done it. You know, where like they get like $1,000 a month. And I'll tell you, if I can live off $200, $300 a month, if I want to be Taj Mahaling it up in my van life, you think about that for a moment. And you're like, wow, I could live really fucking good off $1,000 a month of just a cheap piece of land. You know, have a garden. You know, I could live really good off that. So, what motivation have we made for people to be greater, stronger, more prosperous individuals? I'm just throwing it out there. What motivation have we made? We have a school system that fails you. We have a system that tells you if you work your whole life and fail completely, you'll still get a check. And if you're a complete fuck up and failure, we got welfare for the women, full out normal welfare. And then we got fake crazy for the guys. It's not a surprise that our system is so in the goddamn toilet. And then we have the nerve to sit there and have these people saying, it's late stage capitalism. No, it's everybody voting for more free shit. Yes, some of the corporations are crap. We don't reward corporations for being better, producing better things. Like when they produce a better thing, it costs slightly more, and everybody's like, I'm not paying that. No, I'll go over and buy the cheap Chinese shit. Then you get the Chinese shit quality, and then you bitch about it and say, oh, it's just like voting. You buy cheap crap, you get cheap crap. But yeah, sometimes I look at it, it does get under my skin. And I think to myself, that's part of the reason I love being out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. I'm not surrounded by dumbfounded dipshits that basically their whole lives, they've been told this beautiful lie of, you're a good, hardworking person, and yet you receive more in benefits than you ever pay in, even as a hardworking person. You just do. And as a person with no wife, no kids, I actually pay. So I actually pay for this system. I just expect more out of this system. If you're going to take our money, you know, maybe wild thought here, we should have better roads. You know, we should have, you know, a more clean environment. Like those fucking junked out RVs up there in the forestry I saw. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, look at this. Look at this shit. You know, like they'd been there for years. Like this couldn't have, like, for instance, I've said this before, we the people could go and clean those up. You get a group of people together and you say, okay, we got our cutting torches, we got a truck over here of a dump bed to put the metal in to go recycle that, and then we got the other dump bed pickup truck with to scrape up all the garbage and take that to the dump. Could be fixed in one goddamn day, we the people. Instead, they force us with this system. Says, oh no, the forestry will handle that. Just like every other system, the system will handle that. And they don't. They don't fix it. Just like with the schools. Things aren't getting better. And yet, you're forced to fucking pay for that. And when people fail, oh, the system will handle it, and they don't. They give people crumbs, they give them a little tiny check, and they're like, they pat them on the head like you're a fucking retard. Because you are. Most of you are. And they look at you like, you know, okay, just vote whatever party, you know, tells you the right thing. Vote Democrat. Republicans are almost as bad as Democrats. Because the problem, I'm going to tell you the truth. My problem with Republicans is you really have a lot of the right ideas, but tactically you're just not fighting. Or once you get in power, then you try to be nice. So you're like a false hope, a false hope is worse than useless. Because useless, you know it's useless and you just move on to something that works. A false hope wasted your time only to be useless. So you know the Democrats are out of their fucking mind. They'll never stop doing the whole, we're going to spend more of your money than we have. We're going to inflate the dollar. We're going to make everything cost more. Your house is going to cost more. Food, everything's going to cost more. But the Republicans pretend that they're going to fix it. And that's worse than useless. But anyways, I've ranted on this for a bit. It's been a good rant. Y'all take it easy. Peace.